Talk about the strides we've made, especially from a context of women in leadership. Mesh, I have to touch on something. Nimeona hata mafans wameingia hapo kwa comment section, they're saying, Kev, tunataka clarification kutoka kwa mheshimiwa. Apparently about a month ago, acha tu niweke hivyo, some weeks back, you were suspended from the County Assembly of Kakamega due to insulting the County Assembly Speaker James Namatsi. Reason ilikuwa nini? Maybe you can just clarify for Kenya, kwa sababu watu wanasema hapo ndo sasa women in leadership imetufikisha. We're insulting each other because this is not the first time tumesikia what usually happens in the counties WhatsApp groups. What really went down between you and the speaker?
Oh, okay. Personally, I don't take it as an insult. I think calling someone a coward is describing your character. The lack of courage.
Yeah.
And what brought this about? I was a member of the speaker's panel. My name was approved by the honorable on the floor of the house.
Yes.
Unanimously. All members supported me. And my name was passed on the floor of the house to be a member of the speaker's panel. Then I realized, that is an added responsibility. So you earn responsibility allowance on your pay slip. So I think I just served for 2 or 3 months. Around June, I didn't notice until end of August. I didn't notice the speaker secretly wrote to the HR department to terminate me, to inform them that I'm no longer a member of the speaker's panel, and gave another honorable member's name who was not appointed procedurally, who we don't know. Even the HR department claimed that just go to the clerk, they tell you that person is, we are not in a position to reveal the name, but someone else is already earning that allowance.
On Vibes Radio. Morning Vibes, where you are the MVP.
Let me hear a drum play.
Rise and shine for positive vibes with the MVPs every morning.
And now for our feature presentation.
Scent of a woman.
Hey, Shaggy right there.
Yeye ilikuwa bang alikill.
Na sound fiti sana.
Na ilibamba mademu wengi afu ndakata honey come get it handed. It wasn't.
The dishonesty, the hypocrisy
in those songs.
Kesho yake tena naandika it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Bro.
Hey.
But this is a good song, Kev.
Yep.
And we do understand the message is very relevant for today. Because today we're talking about the International Day of the Girl Child. And we are saying for society to grow. To go progressive. To make mass strides fiti. Obviously, women also have to be empowered. They have to take up the space as, resourceful citizens. What wanna add value kwa society. Karibuni sana bana to the second hour of the show. I'm your local energy provider, Otada the Beast.
And of course, Kevo Barman, the topmost right here, man. They're doing what we do. And of course, Kawaida to frequency Mombasa, it's all about 98.7. If you're joining us, Nyeri, it's all about 98.8. Meru, 107.1. Of course, Nairo, 104.5. Big up all massive and crew worldwide, man. Representing the fullest, man. Streaming live on vibes.co.ke.
Exactly.
MVP, morning vibes.
Right now, naona ni 13 minutes after 7. Before we introduce our guest, I just want to big you up. Buda umeanga out na sisi kutoka 6 in the morning. That is something we can never take for granted. Big up on yourself, Robert Miheso Mamisu. Anasema I'm listening, guys. Mark Muranga anasema he's listening from Tasi hapa Emba. Claire is also here with us. Vincent Luga anasema hashtag morning vibes I'm following. Finje Muhoro na kucheki. Thanks for following me, guys. Remember my handle is at Vibes Radio, at Kev Mataren at Vibes Radio. Edward Rono Kipkewa Sotik. Anasema ako all the way from Sotik, Bomet County. Mwendwa. No, it's Mwenda. Mwenda Mwenda wa Munyambu. Akizi majina.
Mwenda wa Munyambu.
Anasema anasikiliza, alafu tuko na Abdikadir Abdalla all the way from Komarok. Mapenseli wa Marange anasema Grand Rising. Masai Nation iko locked. Omwembuda Frank Jr. Anasema good stuff. Juja, we are tuned in. And of course our brother Chege Losias Lisamba Nyiro. Big up yourself, Agim Super. We have Evans Njuguna. Lorette is also here. Mwasum Culture. Teo, I see you. And big up the one and only Simba ya Luvini. Guys, Hashtag morning vibes.
Na pia nichigeri ya Facebook manze pia umeteremka nayo hapa kina Mpenseli one more time. Ashley Melissa manze good morning manze kwa areas za study pale. June Mura, it's Girl Day Wednesday and International Girl Day. Leo ni siku yetu obviously Kenele Kiswahili yake Mombasani. Thriller Van Dakas morning vibe manze. Na Linda Day Lupita Wololo all the way from Qatar manze na stream live manze. McDonald Kangi Mwasm Culture morning vibe. DJ Pointer big up from Maroon Ulinzi Langata morning show iko penyewe. Oni Ben Sharp Beef Wanjo. Wanjo bigo sana Anthony Kaheo McDonald Kangi Kelvin Moshoi kuna Ligu na kuna Rahma mdimu wetu hapo Esther Lomel good morning my neighbors #morning vibe #Kevin #Kev Matara #Kev Bad na kwa request Shaggy na Olivia manze Wild Tonight.
That's a good one.
Tuko kwenye program manze na chigelesha my brother all the way manze big up everyone all manze manze teremka na hiyo wall yetu manze at Vibes Radio manze kwa Facebook Instagram Twitter and X
Kevin X please.
Ujua kitambo X unamaanisha jo awe once ago sasa tulimu X
umeshazoea hiyo jina X mimi I'm still struggling bado sijasettle nayo
sita kama kwa ile tu kama vile Moidi
but one thing
sita kama kwa ile kama Moidi
sisi ni watu wa Moidi
Twitter
we don't understand utamaduni hata kama ni culture it's heavy on the tongue sisi tumezoea Moidi
hata Nyeri ungeka utamaduni voki
afadhali
badala ya nini
cuz me so many
huduma unajua nini mimi nakwambia kwa nini huduma ni hard kwa watasemaje ni siku ya huduma ni service si ndio watasemaje ni siku ya huduma na hiyo ndio siku bado ofisi za government zinafungwa
that's true utamaduni kwa sawa
utamaduni ni better at least haidanganyani at least siku ya service lakini mjafungua
mimi hata tuite nini whatever
Moidi
sisi ni kijana ya Moi vijana wa Moi sisi tunatambua ile maziwa ya Nyayo and for that we will maintain the legacy. Now guys, remember once again, just a quick reminder if you're joining us right now, today is the International Day of the Girl Child and they were hanging out with Honorable Victoria Zillah, nominated MCA County Assembly of Kakamega. Karibu sana Mhesh. How are you doing this morning?
Thank you so much.
Karibu.
I'm doing fine.
Uko sawa?
Yeah, I'm happy. Thanks for the invite.
Today is your day, International Day of the Girl Child. What does this day mean to you? Kabla tuangalie mambo ya magazeti.
Okay, you know, our society for a very long time, girl child has been left behind in terms of development, leadership, property ownership, and so following the Beijing conference, they came up with the International Day of the Girl Child to celebrate girls' rights. And also, this is one critical day that we need also to look down and look back and reflect on the gains we've made and what we need to improve on as we move forward. The theme for this year is digital generation.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Digital generation. It's an amazing opportunity, especially for women to get out there and explore all the opportunities up on the digital space.
Yeah.
To empower themselves. Because I feel like we're living in this information age. There's so much you can achieve on the internet for your digital space, and I know there are many youth out there that are taking advantage. We also know that you're an ambassador of the Girl Child. Your role, Sasa, what does it entail?
Okay, for the past 10 years, I've been running a youth-led organization called Youth Leader Stakeholders, which has been doing advocacy work for youth and women. And our critical focus area was on how to empower the girl child to participate in the decision-making processes. Because you realize most of the time, the voice of girl child is usually left behind.
Yes.
A quick sneak peek. If you ever attend public participation by the government, because you need to give your input wherever policy formulation is happening.
Absolutely.
Bills are coming across, budget making process. It is usually mostly men who show up. So there was a gap. Now, how do we empower and enlighten girl child to actively participate in the decision making processes? And it just doesn't end there. How do we get the girl child at the decision-making table?
Exactly.
Like today, I'm privileged to sit at the county assembly. That is a decision-making table for me because I can be able to influence a lot in terms of legislative oversight and see things work as I would wish to foresee. Yeah, so...
And what is the progress right now? Are we seeing more women, especially from your county in Kakamega, taking part in this policy-making conversations ever since you took up the role of becoming an ambassador of the girl child?
Yeah, actually,
is there progress?
there is positive progress,
Yeah.
though not that much in terms of political front. We still, Kakamega County is patriarchal. I don't remember us ever having a female MP. Looking at our County Assembly of Kakamega right now, we are only having 3 elected women out of 60. Only 3. That is way below average.
Previously, was
and
there
the
any?
dynamics are very challenging. It was almost the same number.
Okay.
So, but we intend, as the society gets informed, they'll also be able to make informed decision.
Kweli.
They'll give a fair platform to any girl child out there, as the way a boy child is being favored. And I was in the ballot in 2017, and it was tough.
Ilikuwa noma.
Doing campaigning. Ilikuwa noma sana.
What was the main challenge you went through?
Politics, for a woman, it was very complicated.
Yeah.
You see, when you are young, they question your age. They say if we elect you, unaweza potea. Unaweza enda ukaoleka hata ukatusahau.
Pesa ikusumbua akili.
We are not sure. So issues were many. Or they ask, are you married? Now, if you say you are married, who is your husband? Now, he's not a resident of Kakamega County. Go and vibe back.
Mali huko, mali amezaliwa huko.
Or you are, me, I'm Maragoli. And they will tell me, go and vie in Vihiga County. So it is not about the ideologies I carry. It is not about the vision I'm carrying for the people. Unfortunately so. It has reduced to very cheap and petty politics. But for me, I was brave. I was not 100% sure I could make it.
Okay.
But the thing was, we've been pushing for women to participate in this process. Women were not showing up to participate in this process. I was the only woman and a youth. I think I was 25 thereabout. And the only woman against 14 men. And I think I gave them a fair run. Because, it was to encourage more women to come.
True.
And dare and participate in these processes. We know we don't expect wins overnight.
Of course.
It is a process.
It's a process.
But, so for me, it was interesting. It opened me up. I learned a lot about what's going on in the political space. And it was just a change of strategy in 2022. Why don't I align myself in the party, work for the party, deliver for the party, get there, so that I let people judge me by my work.
Let me ask you something,
because
Nash.
it will change the narrative along the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, but before we take a short break, guys, remember phone lines itakuwa open ikifika 7:45. We're hanging out with the Honorable Victoria Zillah. She's a nominated MCA Kakamega County. Na leo unajua ni International Day of the Girl Child. We're talking about women in leadership. But yesterday was also a very important day. To the world. Na kwanza from a Kenyan context, hii maneno ya World Mental Health Day. I'm just curious. Me, I think it's only fair if I ask, how's your state of mind? How are you coping? Are you thriving? Because hapa Nairobi things are thick. How's your mental space? Kwanza huko hivyo Kakamega mavijana wanaendeleaje, the girl child? Because we know there's also a sense of apathy in the country. Economy imetugonga kweli kweli.
Yeah. I'm actually worried the statistics could be worrying. It could be worse. Because I think in the past 2 years, it was out of 10 people who visit a hospital, at least 6 people are having a mental health crisis. So you can imagine with the current economic status, unemployment, what the current status can be. There are a lot of contributing factors towards it. But what measures have we also put in place to support those who are facing such challenges? So that is the key thing the government needs to focus on. Yeah. Because sometimes you need psychological support. You need counseling.
Absolutely.
It is very expensive. Do our insurance cover that? Yeah, that is a critical question to ask ourselves. Sometimes it has been overlooked, yet it is putting us at a greater risk.
I usually say, if you don't deal with the trauma, your trauma will eventually deal with you. I'm curious because you seem like you have a very sharp mind. Unakaa uko sawa. How do you deal with that? How do you have a clear mind? Especially na hiyo kazi unafanya, because I'm sure the pressure is too much to deliver for your people.
Yeah, personally, even by the virtue of the position I hold, and I'm a very vocal and outspoken person.
Yeah.
I know sometimes I rub people the wrong way, and it can come.
And we'll talk about something related to that thing for rubbing people the wrong way.
It can slap us back with a different way. But for me, I've made it a habit to keep a positive attitude.
Okay.
Just trying to look at everything. If anything negative happens to me, there's always a positive side to it. Even what is happening today, there is a positive side of it. So I always look at things critically and keep that positive mind, because once you lose your mental stability, you can be hit down. That's when someone becomes suicidal. That's when people experience withdrawal symptoms. You don't want to go to work. You don't feel like you isolate yourself. So just keeping the right mind,
positive mental attitude.
Hata mayuthu kwa nje unajua maisha ni tough, lakini ni kuamka tu kila siku na positive attitude. Siku itajipa.
Wanasemanga wa Kenya ni resilient. So hatuna option. We have to be strong. Guys, remember tuko kwa MVP report. Once again, happy International Day of the Girl Child. And we are hanging out with nominated MCA./Victoria Zillah of the Democratic Action Party of Kenya. Today we're talking all things women in leadership. Now checking it 25 minutes after 7. Maintain your hashtag morning vibes. Don't move. We're going to be back in a bit. I've got some Ben Soul.
Morning vibes, where you are the MVP. No negative vibes.
Yeah, navutishwa. Ni deadly kabisa. Playing on the International Day of the Girl Child.
For shizo.
Lovers Rock Wednesday. Noma
Kama
kabisa.
kawaida manzi. Na wanaipenda mbaya sana. Na kama kawaida manzi tulipeleka na rada, tukapeleka frequencies zetu manzi. Umeona pata sahi manzi. Wewe jua kawaida Kanelo tuko 104.5. Mombasa 98.7, 98.8 Meru Maika. Nyeri Wide Meru 107.1. Of course, watu wana stream live on Vibes Radio. Bigo manzi. This is your number one show manzi on this side of the Sahara. MVPs kama kawaida vile visifanya leo ni Girl Day Wednesday, and of course the show yako ni Morning Vibe manzi, hashtag Morning Vibes manzi. Hapa tumetula Jona Mhesh.
Yes, the one and only nominated Kakamega MCA anaitwa Victoria Zillah of the Democratic Action Party of Kenya. And today we're talking about all things women in leadership. But before we talk about the strides we've made, especially from a context of women in leadership, Mhesh, I have to touch on something. Nimeona hata mafans wameingia hapo kwa comment section, they're saying, Kev, tunataka clarification kutoka kwa mheshimiwa. Apparently about a month ago, acha tu niweke hivyo, some weeks back, you were suspended from the County Assembly of Kakamega due to insulting the County Assembly Speaker James Namatsi. Reason ilikuwa nini? Maybe you can just clarify for Kenya, kwa sababu watu wanasema hapo ndo sasa women in leadership imetufikisha. We're insulting each other, because this is not the first time tumesikia what usually happens in the counties WhatsApp groups. What really went down between you and the speaker?
Oh, okay. Personally, I don't take it as an insult. I think calling someone a coward is describing your character. The lack of courage. And what brought this about? I was a member of the speaker's panel. My name was approved by the honorable on the floor of the house, unanimously. All members supported me. My name was passed on the floor of the house to be a member of the speaker's panel. Then I realized, that is an added responsibility. So you earn responsibility allowance on your pay slip. So I think I just served for 2 or 3 months. Around June, I didn't notice until end of August. I didn't notice the speaker secretly wrote to the HR department to terminate me, to inform them that I'm no longer a member of the speaker's panel, and gave another honorable member's name who was not appointed procedurally, who we don't know. Even the HR department claimed that just go to the clerk, they tell you that person is, we are not in a position to reveal the name, but someone else is already earning that allowance. What is rightfully entitled to me?
Kweli.
And I realized after 3 months, because I rarely go and ask for my pay slip to see, and that bank account that I use for my salary, I use it to transact a lot of business. So, there is a procedure as per standing order. And I expect the Honorable Namatsi, my speaker, who is a lawyer by profession, to understand clearly what the law states and what the standing orders are. Our standing orders are very clear on the process and procedure of removing anyone from the speaker's panel. He is supposed to notify the House Business Committee. That conversation should go back to the same house which appointed me to justify what are the reasons behind this and to have me removed. Alternatively, if he found I'm told I'm a bit intimidating. If he found that he could not work well with me, he would have just faced me and tell me I'm not comfortable with 1, 2, 3. I would have honestly offered a resignation letter from that position.
Lakini mheshimu unajua mtu anaweza sema okay, even if you were removed over there and lawfully without following due process, calling him a coward, really, how does it connect with you being removed?
He ought to have served me a letter to notify me the same. It is extremely unfortunate I learned about that 3 months later, when everybody was, in fact, they pay bloggers to put in on a local county WhatsApp groups that have been dismissed from the speakers panel. So I decided, let me go and check with the HR department, and I demanded for my pay slips. Then I realized June, July, August, I was not paid. So I reached out to him on phone. I tried to reach out to him to hear his side of the story. He declined. The HR department say he had no reason. He didn't highlight any reason.
Wow.
For me, that is intimidation. For me, that is victimization.
It's only fair kama speaker angekuwa hapa pia tusikie his side of the story.
Yeah.
But at least sasa ume clarify. Now we know. But do you regret calling him a coward?
I don't think so. Because you see, I just went now, because there was no way of me reaching out to him. I just went to our WhatsApp group and told him, you know, it is a cowardice act for you to dismiss me and secretly write to the HR department that you've terminated my work as a member of speakers panel without following the right procedure.
All right.
You even had the opportunity to serve me a letter. You declined. So that is what I said.
Yeah.
And I also don't think...
Let me ask you, were you replaced by a man, a gentleman, or another lady?
That name remains a secret of whoever is earning that, unless maybe we legally now do an inquiry on who it was, but the HR department confirmed somebody replaced me.
Okay.
Again, I hold that position in the interest of my party. Meaning, if I'm leaving that position, a member of DAP Kenya was to replace me. And by the way, 3 weeks ago, after I had made noise, it's when now they took a proposal of a name offer, because I told them I'm no longer interested. So that's when they took Honorable Segero's name. It has been proposed. It's yet to be approved on the floor of the House to replace me in that position.
Okay, so maybe we shouldn't dwell on that too much.
Yeah.
As we keep it moving, of course, today is a special day, the International Day of the Girl Child. And now, Kichiketa, the trend in previous elections, we saw quite a number of women getting into leadership positions, not just politics, but at a corporate Kenya in general, yeah?
Yeah.
From where we've come from, kutoka hizo days, independence, you know, is this evident that women are rising in society? Is this evidence that women are taking up important roles and we should take them seriously now?
It is clearly evidence. Women have taken up leadership role across the sphere. And I think this has been brought about because there's been a lot of awareness creation. People are now realizing that a woman can still be able to deliver in leadership role just like a man. And that's why you see we are having more governors. As time goes by, the numbers are increasing. I think 2013 we didn't have a single female governor. In 2017 we had 3.
Yes.
In 2022 the number is increasing, and that is a good trend. And you even realize slots like being brought up like nominated slot. It is just to create a platform for us to empower ourselves so that we can now go back to the ballot and seek mwananchi goodwill based on our performance to get a chance to now go and serve as elected.
And right, because you're a first time MCA, Sindo.
Yes.
So how's that role? How is it for you? Imekuwa challenging ama are you excited about the opportunities? How has it been ever since you get kwa your position? Upate yo kiti nominated MCA.
Okay, for me, you know, I've been in active space working with the county government, pushing for policy, doing social accountability and follow up. So I understand the processes as much. But you know what inspired me to push to be in that assembly? And I knew the dynamics that exists when going through the ballot like I went through in 2017. I needed a platform to grow myself because you know it also takes a lot of finances and etc. So I was a lead campaigner for my deputy governor who stepped down from a gubernatorial race to join with Fernandez, and it exposed me a lot. I understand politics better. I can express myself better today than I was before. So for me, it is a platform to grow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tunaweza prepare young girls in society to get into leadership positions now, for example, in the family. How can we prepare them for you know, for this era that we're living in, because we're seeing, you know, the girl child, kuna opportunities mingi sana, but how can schools, families, society in general create an environment where women are thriving as they get ready for positions like leadership positions, whether it is in politics or corporate Kenya?
Okay, the best way to prepare a girl child, it is to have at least push for mentorship programs, because one, you need someone to look up to, you need someone to walk you through the journey of leadership. It takes a lot. So we just need to do more emphasis on empowering girl child through mentorship. Like what we've been doing, we've been engaging girls in school from that level, from high school, those who are between 18 to 25 years. You know, because you see that is a mass, a population that has always been a bit ignorant. When they lack mentorship, they don't see the need to pursue such opportunities in leadership, whether in corporate, in politics, even in the very local level. Even today we see I have my sub chief is a lady, and she's doing very well. But before, you see, those are positions that we only see men endear themselves to and women shying away from them. So to have that balanced society and to have more girls transit into leadership, there is need for mentorship, which has been lacking.
All right, Kev.
Yeah.
Mimi niko na muhesha, mimi na like vile muhesha naenda manzi. So far mimi na like usimata nimetulia.
You enjoy the conversation.
Yeah, but muhesh, kuna historia ya Western, especially uko Western, about the early marriages. Na vile kwanza sasa vile economy imepiga, mademu wengi, wasichana wengi, depression imepanda, wakwezi mambo za early marriage. Mtoto ni mdogo lakini rudi akona watoto wawili watatu, na ule maybe ule bwana anategemea ndio ule saa kazi ndio tunaona vile kunaenda. Nyinyi wambo mko kwa hiyo sasa mmechukuliwa kama leaders, mshamekana any other kind of mechanism vile mtu anaweza saidika at least amalize masomo. Civic education ya kwa nini ni important, the girl child akwa anaenda shule. Juu sasa tunaona tunaongelea story ya mademu wa form 1 form 2 at least wameshashika, but tuna notice bado at the same time kuna watoto wengi sana wazazi wao waamini na mambo ya msichana kwenda shule. So uko malika uko kwenye West, mnafanya kitu kama hiyo?
Kakamega, situation is tough. But we are working towards addressing those issues. Nikidhani it's not just about early marriage, it is early pregnancies. Because you find wanapata watoto wakiwa wadogo na si ati wamoleka. And sometimes, most cases, we've been I pushed for Kakamega County GBV policy, which is now in place to address such issues. And you find mingi unapata an incest. You find most of them are in Kakamega, they are manipulated, but within the family cycle. It's just an uncle,
biological father.
Even 2 weeks ago, last week I had a case of a standard 4 child who is impregnated by the uncle. And the father is telling her, "Enda uko ujengewe nyumba waleke."
What?
A class 4 child. What? And so we have to intervene legally. One, we have to see how do we take this child into safe custody. And then how now do we pursue the legal process to ensure there is justice. So nikidhani we are making progress. The fact that as a county we have a policy to address issues of teenage pregnancy and GBV itasaidia sana, na pia tukiendelea kuelimisha jamii wakae wakijua ukifanya hii ni makosa. Na pia changamoto nyingine imekuwa kubwa sana ni wasichana wetu wamepotoka sababu ya peer pressure. Social media has exposed our young girls to many things. So today hakuna mtu anaenda kukaa na elder aulize maswali inquiry nini. Wanataka kugoogle, wanaona watu wanafanya ABCD, they want to experiment, and in the process they end up ruining their life.
Let me ask you something.
So mostly tunawapea mafunzo, tunakaa nao. Hata leo tuko na kikao nimepanga na tunafanya na Mheshimiwa Modesta Auka wa Mayakalo Ward, just engaging young girls in our community as we celebrate this day on making informed decision. That is what's important. Informed decision. You should know, if I have sex, I will get pregnant. If I get pregnant, I'll ruin my education, because unajua kijana ataendelea na masomo. Hakuna siku atakaa nyumbani. Lakini msichana itabidi ukae uzae, na katika hiyo kuzaa wengi wanakufa. ukiangalia statistics, most of them die at a very young age because of such complications they develop. Na ina affect now the rest of their future. Even the women rep, I want to appreciate her because she's taken most of these girls and enrolled them back to school.
Oh, nice.
So that they can be able to be self-sufficient and empowered. Because when you have education, you have a starting point on how you can be able to fix your life.
About education, sorry Kev, about education, especially girl education. Kuna history imekuwa ikiendelea juu mambo ya early pregnancy na mambo ya shule vile imekuwa. So kumekuwa na issue kubwa ambayo ina debatiwa if it's important sex education ianze kufundishana kwa shule kuanzia watoto wakiwa wadogo. Unaionaje upande yako? Do you support it?
I have been an SRHR advocate, sexual reproductive health rights. So it is important for a child, at least akiwa teenagehood, to understand the consequences and what sex can do to hinder their life so that they make informed decision. When you deny them information, hii generation tuko nayo sahi, they will still go out and find everything in the internet and they'll go and try and they are very curious. They'll go and explore, and in the process they'll just get to where you are trying to avoid.
I want to look at this.
So in generation ya sahi, give them information. Let someone have information, then they'll have the power to decide what they want, if they are choosing this path or this other path.
Information is so important, and also it leads to empowerment. Na tunajua hizi zenye the women have made in our country is mostly due to information and empowerment from before. Because I feel like what the government did, even the guys in the private sector, is they exposed women to information, like getting them early into school, making sure wanamaliza shule, going to communities, wanakuwa na hizi mabaraza nini. So information is powerful. And ukiangalia, I want to go back to ile statement uli mentioned, Mesh, talking about how in 2013 we had no female governor. 2017 we had 3. Now we have 7. I'm seeing we have several DGs, but also in terms of cabinet we have, I think, about 10 CSs. Do you think that the reason we got here was mostly because of empowerment, and for us to now to make more strides when it comes to getting women into positions of leadership, there has to be more and more empowerment back to kwa mashinani sasa for us to actually get to those levels where we can be proud of ourselves as a nation? So ideally I'm saying, do we need more empowerment?
Yeah, empowerment, that is a continuous process. We have communities that they're still left behind, and they need to be empowered and be more enlightened so that they can pursue such opportunities. But so far so good, we've made progress. And I think also the fact that we live in the digital era, it has contributed a lot, because there's a lot of information out there. So people are informed, and people are making informed decision on who they want to put in office. And I think it has also created a platform for women who are coming up in leadership spaces to also reach out to the generation that is into so much digital space than you won't get them in political rallies and such activities to sell your agenda and to win their votes. So there's been a lot of things that have been contributing towards that, and we are making good progress. We are making good progress.
How do you manage your expectations as an individual when it comes to you being in a leadership position? You are MCA. Kwa sababu niko sure vile ulianza hii conversation, we're talking about Kakamega being a patriarch society. And sasa hata kama una bwana, for example, I'm sure people won't vote for you. Uko ni noma kwa ground. But how do you manage expectations? How do you navigate your way around when it comes to matters culture, when it comes to matters your role? Lazima udeliver kazi yako kama MCA. When it comes to matters, because I also feel like the accountability bar for women is so high. It is set so high. Ukifanya tu kitu kidogo hivi. For example, you saw how even the other day Senator of Nairobi, nominated Senator Kari Nyamu, how she was in Dubai, and she was there partying, and people called her out. So you as an individual, how do you navigate all these pressures, all these expectations? How do you reorganize your life?
It is a bit of a tall order, because either way you can never make everyone happy. But of importance is to understand your mandate and to what limit, and also to try and reach out to those expectations that are manageable. Because, for me, coming from a patriarchal society, it is just a perception. Somebody believes a woman can't lead. But if I'm in this space and I'm able to execute my mandate the right way, I believe I'll be able to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 followers, 10 campaigners. So tomorrow, if I'm going for an elective position, they'll say, we know you, we know what you did, and they'll judge me based on my performance. So it is a work in progress, and it's not something that I expect to attain overnight. And it takes a lot of resources as well. So I'm building myself all around that space as we prepare towards 2027.
Okay.
Yeah.
Muhesh, unakasa ni International Day of the Girl Child, unaona? Na mimi ningetaka sana kudwell kwa hiyo, especially tukisema ni Girl Child Day, atuweke ni western ama ni mademu wote, unaona? You ukiwa hapa on behalf ya wale wasichana wako area. Kuna history imekuendelea na hivyo tuko tunasema information is power. If shared ni empowerment. Kasi wanasema statistic, wanasema mali kama Western, Nyanza, Malika Coast, Mombasa, Kilifi, those are the leading places za what young ladies, in fact young girls wanna get pregnancy na wengi wanapata HIV. Wanapata, in fact statistically wanasema like in the half the year hii tumekuwa like watu wa miaka kutoka 10 to 17 years 20% wamejipata kuna HIV. Wewe malume kasai Muhesh, ukiangalia the government of the day vile inachukulia hizi vitu, inachukulia, is it aggressive enough? Inafanya exactly vile inafaa, inatumana, inatoa power yake, inajaribu kupatia civic education ifikia watoto wetu kweli vile inafaa, ama bado sofa ni kastori tukajaba wanaichukua na hii side nyingine na
I think the government has a lot of work to do. And you look, okay, before we look at what the government needs to look back and see what is causing our young girls to get into early pregnancy. You'll be surprised somebody is being compromised to have sex just to get a sanitary packet. The way the government is taxing us on everything, why don't we have tax waiver on sanitary towels, so that to make it affordable for them, so that it is not a reason for them to miss school, it is not a reason for them to get sexually compromised because they can't afford it. Right? So I think there's a lot the government that needs to do.
Yeah.
And also, can it be able to make it affordable in schools? You know, they had started an initiative, but these parts were being supplied through the Office of the Women Rep. But you find the Office of the Women Rep is also a political office. And most of the time there were complaints, it was not reaching out to all schools. So the program failed at that level. So we need to find a different way to have this addressed, and using the administrative in the education system that exists to make sure we are supplementing our girl child. They are being kept in school. They are not compromised for such petty things to ruin their lives. And also, you know, I'm worried with the current economic status. I know most families are struggling to get a meal. Now you can imagine how many people will go out of their way just to get something. Right? Hata ukiangalia tu society yetu, wachana na watu wa shule, hii society tu ya sahi, mademu ya young, imekuwa like paka upate mbaba, unatafuta mbaba ndiye kusustain na kweke ile maisha
unataka.
Yeah, when you can work diligently through the process and earn a decent living as a person. So you see, also the society is setting up precedents, a certain culture, a certain mentality. We need to get away from that
mindset zetu.
Yeah, we need to change our mindset as a society generally. Because definitely our wasichana wadogo wale wako shuleni, they're looking up to their elders. And how are they conducting themselves? How are they carrying themselves? You know, sometimes they can get influenced by maybe just a story, even just a celebrity on social media. If you are creating the perception that you need a man who has ABCD to do for you ABCD, you know, people will start not working towards them achieving their goals, but everybody out there is looking for someone who can keep them. And they don't care. And that's when you start getting diseases and everything else.
I want us to take a short break. Alafu tukirudi, we talk about maneno ya Meru County. Says Meru County, there's an impeachment conversation that's going down. We've also seen it happening in Nyamira. Is it a matter of Governor Mwangaza being a lady? That's why tunaona hiki tu kina Mramba. Ama truly, she's not up for the job. We'll be talking about that. Pia, remember, you can give us a call. Today is the International Day of the Girl Child. And guys, if you don't know, we're hanging out with Honorable Victoria Zillah. She's nominated MCA County Assembly of Kakamega. Good morning, guys. Tunarudi in a bit. Don't.
This is the Modern Vibes on Vibes Radio.
Mother of Creation by Richie Spice on 104.5 Vibes Radio. Tupige simu. We are on MVP Report. Guys, we are hanging out with the Honorable Victoria Zillah, nominated MCA Kakamega County. And leo ni the International Day of the Girl Child. We're focusing on women in leadership, especially at county level. Yes, have we made strides? Do we still have a lot to achieve, a lot to do, so that madame, especially the ones in leadership, wanafili kama wana add value vile nafaa? Let's talk about that. Kauko na comment ama swali. Remember, guys, 0719012700. Let's go to Laikipia. Gideon, good morning.
Niaje?
Fiti sana Gidi, uko fiti?
Uko fiti?
Sawa, ingia kwa hiyo conversation. Remember, tuko na Honorable Victoria Zillah. Leo ni International Day of the Girl Child, Women in Leadership. Unadayaje, bro?
Number one, I have a daughter.
Oh, nice, huh?
Na mu bambika sana huyo dem. Aya, Mwesh.
Anakusikiza.
Haya, let me ask. When women are doing campaign, do they really wanakuwa na hiyo confidence ati wanajua watapata hiyo kiti?
Are you saying women in general ama any position ama ya MCA because she's an MCA? We talking
Any
about
position.
any position, okay.
Any position.
Yeah, so do they have the confidence that one is I get?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
So sawa.
Yeah.
Gidi, should give you a response. Acha nishike ya mama haraka. Gidi namuuliza, do women really have the confidence that they can maneuver, they can navigate their way to leadership kwa political arena? Fire mama, good morning. Oh, pole sana yeye imekatika. Let's go to Kikuyu. Ras Farmer, good morning. Niaje bro?
Yeah man.
Karibu sana kwa conversation. Buda leo tuko na Honorable Victoria Zillah. Unadayaje bro? Ras Farmer, karibu sana bro, tunakuget.
Haya.
Yo Ras. Aya. Ras Farmer, talk to us. Aya, acha tuongee na Fire Mama. Ras Farmer, hebu nipigie simu. Fire Mama, good morning.
Good morning to Kevin Matara.
Karibu sana Fire Mama.
Kevin Badman.
Niaje mami?
And Mwesh Victoria.
Victoria Mwesh.
Mwanzo.
Good morning.
Na majina mawili ya Baptist. Wapi ya mama Mwesh? Jina ya mama.
Jina ya mama anauliza jina mama ni gani?
Those are my two names and Ungai, my father's name.
Ungai.
Bungai.
No, Ungai.
Ungai. Uko sawa. Naulizaje?
Yes.
Kwa nini watoto wetu wa kike wengi wao wanataka kujipondoa na ili hali wako shuleni? Mavazi yao wanaovaa inapaki uchi, yani nusu uchi. Kwa nini msiandalie hawa watoto mwanzo kujipondoa, labda kabla hawajamaliza masomo yao? Na hizi nguo fupi wanavaa nazo zinavutia wanaume, na ndizo unakuta sasa wanapata mimba tukiolela. Kusema kweli ni wazi.
Alright.
Ile yani zinavaa kufunikwa, wameweka wazi. Unaonaje mheshimiwa mkifanya counseling yao watoto wetu kabla wajangamia?
Alright, asante sana Fire Mama. Thank you so much. Vibes Radio, good morning. Hello. Hello.
Good morning.
Niaje bro.
Hello.
Niaje. Tunaongea na nani?
Blackman Timba hapa.
Blackman, karibu sana bro. Tuko na Honorable Victoria Zillah, MCA Kakamega County. Unadayaje? Any question or comment?
Niko na swali.
dangu ni ibele.
Nini yo?
Kuna mademu wanakatia mademu.
Oh, alright.
LGBTQ.
Leo
mimi kwa ndio ndogo na cheki. Tokea nje kila fight hapo Sunday venye naona Kanairo ni.
Alright, sasa nimeget your question. We're going to ask Mehesha clarify history ya LGBTQ. Vibes Radio, good morning. Morning bro, tunaongea na nani?
Tunaongea na Jose kutoka Maimahio.
Jose, nakupatia 20 seconds. Swali yako ni gani ama comment, kwa sababu tunafaa kusikiza news?
Hapa na ni salamu tu, namsikiza hapa. Safi.
Safi sana bro, asante sana maze. Na cheki calls ni mob, but unfortunately right now we're at the top of the hour. In fact, we'll switch some gears. Mhesh will respond to all these questions in the next hour, right after the news. But nimecheki hapa hivi kuna fa mama amesema history ya madem kudunga vikinki, you know, kujipodoa, they're putting themselves in problems. Alafu kuna history ya confidence in winning. When women get into elective kwa campaigns especially, do you run to win or do you run for the experience? Are you confident you can actually win something? And of course pia kuna amesema history ya LGBTQ. We'll continue. Na check my comments ni mob sana, my questions ni mob on our hashtag Morning Vibes. Remember guys, we are with Honorable Victoria Zillah. She's a nominated MCA Kakamega County. Right now, time for the news. Sambili Kamili, twende kazi. Good morning guys, keep it locked and don't move
Feel the rhythm, feel the vibe. Vibes Radio.
The Morning Vibes, where you are the MVP. No negative vibes.
Play that song by Dwayne Stevenson on 104.5 Vibes Radio. Very good morning to you. We are hashtag Morning Vibes. Mimi naitwa Kevo Matara.
Kama kawaida manze, huyo ni energy provider, the beast himself.
Yeah. Say all my good stuff.
Yeah man, kama kawaida Kevo Barman hapa, the word magician Mr. Udini. Keeping it real manze, na Mhesh wetu hapa Victoria Zillah manze from MCA wa Kakamega. Manze, as we proceed to give exactly what you need manze. Frequencies zetu kawaida manze, Mombasa 98.7, 98.8. Tukonga areas za Nyeri, Maika manze, Meru is all about 107.1 and Bigo Nairo 104.5. This is the real thing, the real deal manzeni. MVP Morning Vibes.
Exactly.
On Vibes Radio.
And today, remember, we are celebrating International Day of the Girl Child. Now, did you know? Did you know that around 90% of adolescent girls and young women do not use the internet in low-income countries?
Oh, yeah.
Like in Africa, for example, where their male peers are twice as likely to be online. And actually, tuambia leo theme of the International Day of the Girl Child ni gani?
Digital, it's about digital, what is the right word? Today the theme is focused on how girl child can embrace the digital space.
Right.
Yeah.
And we think it's such a very important theme because we know the opportunities and ziko kwa hiyo digital space. But Mhesh, tulifungua phone lines. Mafans wakapiga simu. We call them our MVPs. And there are certain points of concern hapa hivi wangependa uaddress before I ask you issues to do with Meru County. Fire Mama alipiga simu akasema wasichana wadogo wameanza kujipodoa at a very young age. They're wearing kinky clothes. Jana pia I read a report here talking about how young girls are thronging into the CBD on a Friday evening. Girls who they look like teenagers. Wamevaa vibaya nini. So Fire Mama's concern is, as she's saying as a mother, anaona vibaya kwa sababu they're exposing themselves to danger. You know, and then there's another one, another brother of ours akapiga simu akasema, what goes on through the mind of a woman akiran for a political position, nisema political seat? Do they actually have confidence in winning these positions, these elective positions, ama they just go there for the experience? And then another one called and says, based on what we saw in Mombasa, where tuliona ule MP Jicho Pevu alikuwa pale ana protest, they were demonstrating against the rise of LGBTQ within the Mombasa County and society in general. So maybe you can tackle all these things and then I ask you about Meru County.
Okay, quick one. Swali mzuri sana hapo from Fire Mama.
Kujipodoa podoa.
Unajua watoto kujipodoa. Unajua society anasema sisi tunafaa tuwaimize.
Yep.
But you know, raising a child, we have several pillars. There's a role the church or the religious institution plays. There's a role the family plays. That is the parent. And there's a role leaders play. So I think tumefika hapo sababu wazazi wamefail. The parents have failed. Before it is you who is approving that child to step out of that house having dressed in a very compromising situation. Who is to blame when something happens to her? So I think the societal fabric is very loose and we have failed in parenting. Kitambo najua ulikuwa ukifanya makosa mtoto anaweza kuchapa kiboko. You belong to the society. Anybody will hold you accountable. And maybe that's why we are not having these issues. But today to each their own. Kila mtoto na mzazi wa, so mzazi asipomshape inabaki society mfunzie na adabu na huko nje. So personally I'll just call, before even ask leaders, we can put legislation. We can use the relevant platform to enlighten the girl child. But the parent is at the center of everything. We need to fix our parenting skills.
Ni parenting ama
sisi saa zingine unaona hata ukienda TikTok kwenda social media, so utapata tu ni mzazi amerekodi mtoto wake amempaka makeup, amemdress skin,
wana dance
for the
funny.
likes and all that. What are you exposing that child
ndio voki ni kusema ni parenting ama ni society, moral of the society, ni kio cause na unajua nasema voki cause there is a time bado the women walikuwa out wa campaign na walikuwa na hashtag pia yao, my dress my choice.
Wow. Wow. That's a good point.
So ni hiyo kitu inaendelea, ndio tunajaribu wademu wetu wanaenda kuipeleka bado kwa watu. Unapata katoto kadogo manzi kameko kwa TikTok ana twerk. Unaget kamepodolewa umti the moment
being recorded by mamake.
Unapata sema watu wa form 2 hapo, form 1 form 2 wanavaa mini skirt wakienda chuo na ni nguo ya chuo. So I'm like ni wazazi ama ni society yetu vile inakaa?
Is it a mirror effect when it comes to the society?
Do we need to talk about the parenting to change my parents?
The society, the narrative will remain there. But we still have decent, well-dressed girls out there, right? Despite the fact that my dress, my choice, narrative and etc. It is the parent to set the standard.
It's true.
Unajua mtoto akikua in child development 0 to 7 years, they are very keen and they are developing their character at that phase, and they are looking at you as a parent.
Yeah, they say monkey see, monkey do.
After 7 years, akigrow, most of the things anafanya. It is what you've set precedence. You must take responsibility as a parent.
Okay, sir.
So ni wazazi tu wamefail. So wajite mkutano, wajaribu tuanzie hapo. Tuanzie katika familia kabla tufike kwa jamii.
And what about maneno ya confidence in winning? Do women actually expect to win when they go into maneno elections? Because like you said, it's a patriarch society. Men still call the shots. So could this be the reason also, I can put it like this, that many women are intimidated about getting into the race for elective positions?
To answer his question, vile aliuliza, unajua, I would say, who puts their money where they are not, they are already sure they are going to fail? Nobody. It's just like investing in a business. Unaweka pesa yako mali unajua
kuna venye kitu ni yako.
So even those women who have offered themselves out there in campaign, they're already spending their resources. They have the courage and the confidence to win. It is only that the society is it mirrors them differently and has set different standards for women as opposed to men, and that's where the challenge is. But I believe with the time it will phase out.
And maneno ya Mombasa, we saw Ule Hussein, the MP uko Nyali, alikuwa with a massive demonstration. Actually, they were here even in Nairobi the other day outside the judiciary. They're campaigning against LGBTQ. I'm curious, how is this conversation uko hivyo in Kakamega? And are you in support of LGBTQ having their own sort of lobby groups?
That conversation inanieka mahali pabaya. You know, as a human rights activist, we are told you must respect everyone's rights.
Decisions.
But you see, for me, where do I start from? I'm a Christian. My religious doctrine does not allow me to see a man and say it is okay. A woman and a woman and say it is okay. Two, I'm an African. That is not our culture. Why should it be forced on us? So personally, me as an individual, I don't support LGBTQ. We must stop the tendency of borrowing everything that is coming from the West and trying to bring that culture here. And I think you see even celebrities, they're setting some precedents by starting to do cross-gender dressing, etc. That's why it starts, and children will start looking into that. Sasa watu wenye wameleta imani LGBTQ, the West, who have been pushing this on us, why don't they adopt polygamy?
But like for now, like
because Africans are polygamous.
Yes.
Why don't they adopt? They say it is also good because
but as a campaign of human rights,
because our divorce rates are very high, we should just embrace polygamy to make sure.
But as a campaigner, I'm a liberal-minded guy. I believe that every human out here deserves a right to live however they want. Now, constitution and our respect. Where pia ni campaign of human rights, don't you think?
And also that's also parenting.
Ukiangalia for now na parenting, na parenting. At the same time kevu ukiangalia unapata sahi vile umesema religion. Kanisa yetu haitukubalishi. Like kanisa yenu sasa yakubalishi, ambao ni Christianity, ambapo unapata like in Kenya, example in Kenya, kanisa kubwa ni Catholic. the Roman Catholic Church is the biggest, ndio kuna followers wengi. In fact, nika 3/4 ya Wakenya wengi ni wa Catholic. Alafu wengine ni Protestant. The Catholic Church kuna somehow imeanza kama kusema wanaweza ikubalisha.
Gay couples wakienda for blessings.
We kama Mkristo.
And you know, interestingly, I also joined the Catholic faith, but it goes back to the word of God. You know, hakuna mahali Biblia inasema a woman shall leave their home and a man leave their home and they shall go and be one. Period. That is the word of God. So however they want to twist this issue and justify, I think such decisions are being made. It is out of external forces and pressure.
Wow.
And I don't know why we are being forced to embrace a culture that is not ours.
Okay.
That we are not comfortable with. I'll never support that. I'm a parent. I don't even imagine one day my daughter is stepping in the house with another girlfriend and saying, hey, I can't see such
they want to get married. Mehesh, let's move on. Arakaraka, in the next 2 minutes. The situation in Meru County, where we are seeing allegedly there's conversations to impeach Governor Mwangaza. This is similar to the situation in Nyamira. If the governor, for example, would be impeached, because the people who are saying, hii ni kwa sababu she's a woman. You guys don't want a woman to lead you. Meru guys, you're so patriarch. Amupendi wanawake in leadership. But other people, especially MCAs, the conversation is mostly amongst MCAs. There's some MCAs who are saying she's just not fit for office. Do you think it's mostly because she's a woman?
Hii maneno ya Meru ni tricky, but one big up watu wa Meru. You did well to elect a woman. You know you can't say all those people voted for her. They made a wrong decision. There is something they saw about her. It is probably her development track record as a women rep that they entrusted her with governorship. So for me, it is not that she lacks the capacity to deliver. I think what is putting her in a compromising situation, one, I think there's also some essence, external forces or witch hunt, because you see the first impeachment came so fast. When she was still implementing budget, your previous assembly, what exactly are the issues that these MCS are bringing up?
I asked,
and can they be solved only through impeachment?
We had an MCA for Meru hapa, akasema kuna mambo mingi. It's not just about siasa ya external forces. She's actually not up for the job. Ati matters abuse of office allegedly. Mambo ingine, they're still collecting evidence. But he sounded shaky to me.
Story lazima zikue. Unajua, people must paint you as a bad person to justify that story.
But
so until they table now the real facts that she's practicing nepotism and this what is doing, the husband is doing ABCD. I believe it's politics, and I believe Governor Mwangaza, what has exposed her into impeachment this early is the fact that she was voted in as an independent. Political parties plays a very critical role in also safeguarding its members. You know, for instance, angekuwa na belong to a specific party, tuseme yako UDA, na iko na MCS, the party would have called MCS wa UDA na iwaambie, huyu ni wetu, and we must protect that seat. Period. The
but do you think also MCS are bullies?
But for her, she's exposed.
Do you think MCS are bullies? Kuna watu wanasemanga MCS hata wasipokupenda, wakiona tu ati uko na sura mbaya, and they want you out. My friend, you're out. People have said constantly that MCS are making governors' lives hard. Governors implement agenda simply because he has to please MCS. Is it true? Is this narrative true that MCAs are just point blank bullies?
No, MCAs are not bullies. I think it is within our mandate to legislate, to oversight, and to represent our people. So in the process of doing oversight, if there is issues that are coming up, I believe there are ways first that can be exploited to bring the governor into accountable. I think the issue of impeachment should be a last resort. You know, we are very dynamic, and each counties are somehow facing challenges. And you saw there's also another side of the coin, where the governors feel that they should be in total control of the assembly. So I think when we have an assembly operate independently and MCS sticking to their role, that conflicts will somehow fizzle out with time.
All right.
So I wish Governor Mwangaza well.
How do you handle your affairs, by the way, Mhesh, without a kitty, without a fund for MCAs? How ukishugilia watu kwa ground, people in your ward, wakitaka makazi, nini, handouts, how do you sort them out and you guys don't even have a kitty?
Mi kwanza nahurumia elected MC, at least I'm nominated. Unajua ule elected ana choice, akiamka asubuhi crowd iko kwa bomba.
Kwa gate, matanga, nini.
they expect you to be the one financing all this, and it's extremely unfortunate that SRC thought of reviewing MCA salaries down by half.
What?
Honestly, you know, in one way, they are weakening
the MCAs.
the devolution process. They are weakening MCAs when it comes to oversight. Kwa sababu unajua yule MCA anatoka kwa nyumba na alikuwa elected. Na hiyo pressure ya society yako na wanataka akue kwa Harambee. Unajua salary hata mimi nikilipa bills zangu tu za nyumba hiyo pesa imeisha. But they expect when mheshimiwa umeitwa Harambee, shida iko hapa na pale, you have to sort. So you are putting MCA in a very compromised position whereby they now have to see how do I work with the governor, at least we are getting something, and he's also operating well. So you are weakening the oversight at the end of the day, and that is a disservice to mwananchi.
All right, Kev, as we wrap up.
Masaya mheshimiwa MCA
angaliwe mimi kiangalia
wanasema MCA na daroliwa
ni kubaya.
Cheki Mhesh, mimi nikiwa bado kwa Mwangaza, governor Mwangaza, kuna mtu tuna reason anasemaje hii ni witch hunt, ni mambo ya wanawake watakikani kwa leadership. Anasema kuna ma MP, ma governor, ma senator, watu wengi wakubwa pia bado at the same wako na mano makubwa, hadi wengine za mada, wengine za graft, unajua wengine wamedefile watu. Hizo kesi zote hazijafanya au wanaume wakue impeached. Mother hakuna kesi kama hiyo yako nayo, lakini wameiweka hiyo lazima kue impeach. So Mhesh, ungekuwa for example ungejipata uko kwa tebuka hiyo, wanaletwa mbele yako, mwanamke ameletwa mbele yako, merit, what are the merit ungefeel zinafaa kutumika kumjudge briefly?
Mi lazima niangalie does the allegation hold water? Are they real facts or it's just pure hot air? Right. And sometimes the woman, the bar is set so high. Unfortunately, that's why she fell a victim. For me, I think assembly kona powers mingi sana ya control executive, that they should if you are saying you want development fund, it is up to you to go and push for legislative process to allow that. If it is about development, unasema hajawaletea maendeleo, who is approving the budget? It is the MCS. So before you pass that budget, ensure what you want in the development aspect in your areas is well catered, then pass that budget. If not, you make sure that budget fails, it goes back to executive until the interests are being covered. Right. So you see the MCA ako tuna power. So hii story mingi mimi naona tu hawataki kupewa mama amani. Wampe time.
Guys, we've been hanging out with nominated MCA Victoria Zillah Ungai of the Democratic Action Party of Kenya. Kumbuka, today is the International Day of the Girl Child, and we were talking specifically matters women in leadership from the county level. Yeah, so this conversation is ongoing. Skiza guys, tuko hapa hivyo kwa hiyo #morningvibes. Asante sana Mhesh. Victoria, it's been a good conversation. Salimia watu wetu wa Kakamega. You know we have many listeners there, and very soon we're going to come there to chape reggae ngine noma sana. Thank you so much Mhesh.
Karibuni sana, and we are looking forward to host you. Watu wa Kakamega, hi. I'm glad I'm here representing you people. And thank you for giving women an opportunity to lead. And given an opportunity, give more women an opportunity. I love to that. Lead. I know we can't fail you people.
Exactly. And about your nini mnaenda ya girl child leo?
Hiyo event iko Mayakalo Primary School. My organization together with the area MCA Honorable Modesta Uko is the female youth elected MCA that we are having, and the chair of youth and sports and gender. We are hosting that event. We are having a conversation with the girl child about the digital space and how they can harness their skills through digital space, and also at the end of the day, how do they make informed decisions as they grow? Because you know what I said, what was lacking is mentorship. And constantly holding this conversation with the young girls gives them insight, and they are able to focus on what they're supposed to focus on.
Asante sana Mhesh. Remember guys, today, like I said, International Day of the Girl Child. Now the theme is Digital Generation, Our Generation. Tukirudi at 28 minutes after 8, it is all about mjadala. Na bado iko related to the girl child. Good morning, keep it locked. Don't move.
Nobody can stop reggae. This is the Modern Vibes on Vibes Radio.